Hello everyone, and welcome to the show. My name is the Hybrid Fox, and welcome back to the Fallen Forest. The last time I talked about the Fallen Forest, I only mentioned one of its bioluminescent mushrooms. So I'm going to talk about the Toxicap first. The Toxicap is a mushroom with a dazzling purple glow. Look, but don't touch, for these fungi are very poisonous, with enough potency to take down a full-grown nadir beast in just one cap. They can be found in the northeastern and even the northern part of the Fallen Forest. A recent discovery suggests that some have also been sprinkled west of the center of the Fallen Forest. And there might be more, but for now, these are the only spots we know where you can find the Toxicap. There are other genera of bioluminescent mushrooms, such as the skyplate, so named for its blue color, like the sky, and for being wide and having a flat shape, like a plate. They can be found almost anywhere in the Fallen Forest, but are most plentiful to the east and northwest. Another genus is the soarstub, named for its small stature and red color. Also, its spores, while not dangerous, when they come into contact with human skin, can give you a nasty rash, or at least a mild itch. They're mostly in the northeast, but some have made it to the center. And finally, the Catodon shroom. The Catodon shroom is a non-bioluminescent mushroom that can be found anywhere in the Fallen Forest. They aren't prolific, but aren't particularly rare, so they are commonly eaten by the residents of the Fallen Forest. And may I say, they are quite delicious. Along with the big creatures, there are also some smaller creatures as well, to keep the ecosystem running smoothly. Down below, gnawing away at dead leaves as larger creatures walk above, is the Utah slug. The Utah slug is a gray, somewhat pathetic creature that lives on the forest floor, eating dead fallen oak tree leaves and wood. I guess you could call them bottom feeders. You thought that was funny? How about this? I bet he's a real slug to live with. Really? No one? I guess with that one it's more understandable, but still. Tough crowd. Moving on. This is the Whispering Mantis. It's called that because it has one claw raised up to its head, as if it were telling someone a secret. Just like the Praying Mantis is called what it is for its claw position. The Whispering Mantis's right claw is significantly thinner than its left one. That's because it's only used for balance, while the left one is used for hunting. This might seem odd at first, but may I remind you of the fiddler crab, with one larger claw used for fighting, and one smaller claw used for eating. The Whispering Mantis's prime food source is the yin-yang snail, with 2 spirals on its shell instead of 1. This increases the shell's strength and durability, but it has some drawbacks. For one, the shell is heavier due to its increased thickness, making the snail even slower, and second, it is vulnerable in between the 2 spirals, which the Whispering Mantis takes full advantage of. While the yin-yang snail is more vulnerable in between the spirals, it's not like it's made of glass. It's still pretty tough. It's just weakest in that spot, so the Whispering Mantis has a strategy. The real reason it has one claw in the air is to use gravity to put some punch in its strike, shattering the yin-yang's shell easily. Time to look at some 8-legged arthropods. Arachnophobes, beware. First, I'm going to talk about 3 species of spiral spiders. Spiral spiders are characterized by their smooth, pale, and mostly hairless bodies, and for also having something to do with, well, you guessed it, spirals. Well, that's not entirely true. There are some species that have nothing to do with spirals at all, but I'll only cover ones that do. The spiral weaver's webs are in a spiral shape, to save silk. This, however, makes it less effective, but sufficient. The dangling spinners do pretty much as the name entails. They spin while dangling from a silk strand to attract females. Whether they get a mate or not depends on how fast they spin. The strangest addition is the spiralback spider, that have a spiral seemingly etched into their abdomen. The purpose of this is unknown, but some believe that it's also to attract mates, because the size of the mark varies between individuals, though I can't prove that theory. The second spider genus I'll talk about today is the barkhead spider. The barkhead spider scours the forest floor for small pieces of dead, fallen oak tree bark, or they peel it off the trees themselves, living or dead. However they get it, what they do with it is consistent. They will use their specialized mandibles to shave the inner bark off, leaving a paper-like shaving of the outer pattern. They take the outer bark shaving and hook it to their body. Each of the barkhead spider's hairs are like individual hooks that the shavings can latch onto. The bark acts as camouflage against the fallen oak trees, because barkhead spiders are light brown and easy to spot. A full-grown barkhead spider can be covered in bark, from head to spinneret and all 8 legs. I guess you could say they could have been called barking spiders? Okay, I'll stop. Let's talk about a parasitic fruit, shall we? The viper fruit has many species in general, that live in many places across Bennta. But I'll mostly talk about the Sordido Arastrandos Escalada viper fruit, which I'll just let you translate yourself. It's Corimban, by the way. It's the viper fruit that lives in the fallen forest. The viper fruit has some certain traits across most every genus, though there are some exceptions. Viper fruit are usually a reddish, radish color, though there are some, like the golden viper fruit, that aren't. The inside of a viper fruit is white and has a scatter of black seeds, similar to that seen in a kiwi. Some have more, some have less. Once the viper fruit seed collides with an infant tree, they grow with it, feeding off of its sugars to grow. After reaching full maturity within the wood, it breaches the bark and secretes a fibrous material to start producing more fruit. This is where the Sordido Arastrandos Escalada comes in. In the fallen forest, infant trees are hard to find, leading the viper fruit seeds to use a fibrous appendage to crawl on the forest floor and climb adult fallen oak trees and grow there. Some other genus crawl and climb trees like this, but not many. I have made reference to the residents of the fallen forest, but it's time I talked about them in full. The residents of the fallen forest live in villages scattered throughout the fallen forest, and because the fallen forest is on Englius, they all speak English. Where have I heard that before? Fallen forest villages can be found almost anywhere in the fallen forest, except the center. The center is a ruthless area and has barely any bioluminescent fungi. The only things that glow are the minimal number of source stubs and the source stub-induced red eyes of the midnight nadir beast. The safest village in the fallen forest is known as the Fallen's Lair. That's because it's protected by my good friend, the Fallen. He's a good warrior and a valiant protector. I haven't seen him in a while. Maybe I should pay him a visit. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to be notified for when new information about Bennta is shared. And share this video with your friends to let more people know about Bennta. Remember to leave a comment down below to let me know what aspect of Bennta you would like to see next. Bye!